Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Gospel legend Yolanda Adams headlines the holiday concert Do You Hear What I Hear on Tuesday, December 5th at the Kennedy Center. I caught up with the Grammy winner to preview next week's holiday concert and chronicle her illustrious career.
Good morning.
Hey, Yolanda Adams. Hey, thanks for joining us on WTOP in DC.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I guess I should say having you back. I think we've spoken with you a couple times, but this time is going to be really, really cool because you are coming to town to the illustrious Kennedy Center for a special Christmas concert. It's called Do You Hear What I Hear? It's going to be Tuesday, December 5th at 8 p.m. And I think it's co-produced or presented by the Alfred Street Baptist Church Music and Worship Arts Center in Alexandria, Virginia. So, hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jason. You're good.
All right. Well, how did they get you involved with this? I mean, do you have any relation with the church, or is it more through the Kennedy Center, or just because you love the holidays?
Well, it's all of the above. All of the above. I love the Christmas season. Christmas season to me is just, one of the most beautiful seasons. It's about giving, it's about loving, it's about caring and sharing. And I have been in relationship with Alfred Street Baptist Church for, probably about 35 years now. Yeah. And their music department is phenomenal. And I know some of the people who work in that music department and have worked in that music department for years. And of course, Pastor and First Lady are amazing. And I just love the Kennedy Center's history and on, being empowering to musicians and people who are in the arts, actors, actresses, folks who work in the building, folks who keep the building. I mean, it's all just this wonderful, I'd like to say, since I'm from Texas, this wonderful gumbo of deliciousness.
I don't think it might be the first time ever the Kennedy Center has been called gumbo of deliciousness, but they'll take it. That's high praise. And yes, thanks for shouting out the church too, Alfred Street Baptist, because I think last year they brought in Anthony Hamilton for a concert, and this year they thanks to them, they bring some really, really, heavy hitters in the music world to our area around the holidays. It's great. Thanks for setting up sort of the background of how you got involved, but can you tease what sort of songs are we going to hear? I assume the title of the show, Do You Hear What I Hear, is probably on the set list. And what else we got?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely on the, on the set list. The Hallelujah Chorus, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem. Oh, my gosh. What are the other ones? Midnight Clear. They're just, it's really like a Christmas ode to Christmas, so to speak. And I mean, I'm sure any of your favorites will be performed that night.
Any O Holy Night. I love that one.
Oh, yes. Oh, me too. Me too. Especially with the orchestra.
And there's got to be sometimes belting. I mean, you sing gospel songs year round, but there's got to be something like special, goosebump chilling when you get to hit some of those Christmas carols, "O Holy Night" and "Do You Hear What I Hear?" The ones you've mentioned, you go into your upper register and you're just belting to the rafters of a church or a Kennedy Center, and it's just got to be. I'm trying to describe this for the radio, but is it like a transcendent, ineffable thing to describe of belting those notes with the spirituality behind it at the holidays?
Oh, definitely. And that's how we see all of our performances. There has to be this element of connectivity with the audience. So the best way to connect with an audience is to connect with their heart.
Absolutely.
And so, when you're singing, you know that, okay, the aim is to make sure that we're united tonight and that we're all on one accord, as we have learned in the church. We're all on one accord and we're enjoying the moment. And here's the difference in, say, a regular concert and a Christmas concert. These songs have been around for centuries. And so everyone knows them. So they feel like they're a part of the total experience because in their minds, they're like, okay, I can sing this with the artist. I can hum this with the orchestra. I can, I believe that's the beauty of the Christmas concerts just across the board. Because people feel, oh my gosh, that, like you just said, that's my favorite song. I wonder if he or she, whoever's performing, is going to, sing it the way I envision them singing it. And then, when the artist outdoes that expectation, that's where the goosebumps comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you're saying, there's 2,000 years of backstory to these songs. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Oh, yes.
that's great. All right. Well, and then just in addition to, yourself, you're a gospel legend, but aren't there going to be like, over 100 voices with you on stage and orchestra and dancers and all kinds of stuff, right? Do you know anything about who all is going to be on stage with you?
Oh, yes, I do. Now, listen, we have, I should say we, because we're all doing it together. We have a 100 voice choir. Now, don't tell anybody, but I think it's like 102 voice choir.
Oh, well, that changes everything. There's 2 extra voices. Yeah.
The orchestra and the band consist of 60 total instruments. The dancers, 30 plus dancers. It's really this, oh gosh, this visual, auditory, sensory kind of thing. Because, people think, oh, they're just gonna walk to the mic and sing. No, it is fantastic. Also, we have Brandy Sutton, Anika Sampson Anderson, and Simon Paulwell. Noted tenors Dwayne Starling, Roderick Giles, and Sean Tillery, and of course myself. But like I said, you have to be there from the start to the finish to experience, because this is going to be, like you said, a transcendent experience. And that's what music is supposed to do. It's supposed to take you away from, your right now, your troubles or your concerns or your worries, and then transport you into this place of peace and solitude and enjoyment and reflection. That's what music does.
Absolutely. So well said. And whenever I have someone on, in addition to, plugging the heck out of the actual show that you're coming to do, I always love to remind them of sort of your backstory a little bit and your career highlights and things like that. So I know you mentioned the Texas gumbo that you grew up with. But
Yes.
what sort of music did you grow up listening to? I guess it was in like the 60s, so great time for music, and 70s too, when you're coming up. So like what were there gospel legends you listened to, or even beyond gospel, just music in general? Like what were your sort of touchstones that made you say, I want to do this?
Well, first of all, my parents loved music so much. We heard everything in our house. My mom was a music major and a minister of music and a reading specialist and all of this good stuff. My dad was a football, basketball, track coach. So between the two of them, we had such a great wealth of genres that we listened to in the house. There was no limitation on what we listened to. Like some people who do spiritual music, they could only listen to that. But we were free to listen to everything in our house, from Bach to Beethoven and bluegrass and B.B. King to Charlie Pride and, oh gosh, Aretha Franklin, Tremaine Hawkins, James Cleveland, Nat King Cole, the OJs. I mean, we listened to everything. James Brown, whom I got a chance to honor at the Kennedy Center years ago. And I gave him my backstory with him and how my dad loved, his music and stuff like that. He was really like blown away. So we listened to everything, and there was I think no demand on me to sing gospel music or inspirational music. It was just do what you love. So all of us, all 6 of us, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, all 6 of us were able to find our way into our expertise and our passions and our loves for whatever. And we just thrived in those areas. So I grew up in Houston, Texas, singing with a choir that was already professional. And so we were already traveling all over the United States and and Europe, Europe and Africa, as a matter of fact. And it just so happened that it kind of jump started from my love for the choir.
That's great. I always love hearing sort of, what you grew up listening to and how you got into the choir.
Yeah,
It's
because
always
it does
fun.
make a difference.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm.
I agree entirely. And then how do you actually get the big break of, getting to I guess your first album was Just As I Am in 87, but like how do you,
Yes.
and you've rattled off so many over the years, we'd be here all day if we talked about all of them. Maybe we can hit a couple of the big highlights. But like I was curious, like how do you actually, get signed for that first one?
Well, it was actually with the choir. We were singing at one of our spectacular anniversary concerts. And one of the major producers, mega producers at that time, Minister Thomas Whitfield, he came to our spectacular, and I just so happened to sing a song that made him cry. And he's like, "Oh my God, I came to Houston to listen to some talent, and I have 4 other people to listen to, but you just, you touched my heart, and I really want to talk to you tomorrow." And so my mom and my granny and I took him out to eat at one of our favorite restaurants. And he was really, really excited. He's like, everyone has been telling me about you. Now, mind you, I'm just thinking, here, this girl in Houston, Texas, she's just singing in a choir. But people from New York, Chicago, California had been saying my name over the course of like 3 months to him consecutively. And he would tell each one of them, "You're not the first person that's mentioned her name." And so after the meeting, he said, "Well, I'm going to go listen to all of these other people. And if I still feel excited about you, I'll call you." Well, it wasn't a week. And he's like, "Yep, I'm still excited about you. So what we want to do is we want to get our lawyers together and, work up some paperwork." And that started everything solo wise.
Oh, well, and your fans are glad that it did. It started it all. And
I'm glad it did.
yeah, I'm sure. And like I said, yes, there's no time to go through all of them. You've done many albums, but I'm trying to think of maybe one of the more famous ones was probably Mountain High Valley Low, right? I think that was like platinum and went number one.
It's double platinum. Yes.
Oh, well, let me make that in my notes. Double platinum. And I
double platinum, several Grammys, and I got a chance to work with 2 of my good friends that I had always wanted to work with. They worked with friends of mine with Sounds of Blackness, and Terry Lewis with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis said years before we even got a chance to work together, he's like, "I'm going to work with you. We're going to work with you." Because Terry and I were talking, I love to eat. So I was at a restaurant in Minneapolis and he was like, I'm going to work with you. And then Jimmy ran around the room. He's like, no, we're going to work with her. and it happened. And Sylvia Rohn, who I love to this very day with all my heart, she made sure that we were able to take our time with the album and give it the care and nurture that it needed, and it came out so phenomenally. And Newsbreak, you are probably the first person that will know this. Next year, we have revived the team, and we will be coming out with new music from Yolanda Adams, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and a whole lot more.
Really? The 3 of you will be on a new album together?
Yes, we will. Yes.
All right, we'll plug that for our listeners, and and by the way, it's like the DC connection. All 3 of you are Grammys on the Hill alum, I believe. I think you've all been honored at that.
We are. We come every year because it is so important, especially when you have a platform like this, and people, when they see you, they know you and appreciate, your catalog. They appreciate all the things that you've contributed to your genre and to music, period. It is our responsibility to uphold the mantle for those folks who don't have that voice yet and who don't have the notoriety and the visibility yet. We fight for young artists who are just coming up. We fight for kids in universities that are part of our Grammy U mentorship program. We fight for the independent artist who doesn't have a major label, who wouldn't have millions of dollars to market and things like that, to make sure that, AI doesn't overtake, our talents, and, our intellectual property belongs to us. That's like our kids' trust funds. And if someone thinks that they can take that away, I mean, that's like someone walking into your place of business and saying, Jason, I want all of the equipment that you bought, and I want to be able to use your voice anytime that I want to. And you'll be like, no. Well, it's the same thing with music.
This is an AI interviewing you right now. You don't realize it. Just kidding. It's dangerous across. I mean, that's what SAG-AFTRA, that's what everyone's fighting against,
Yes, because it's not here's the thing. We have been using AI practically all of our lives if we have a smartphone. So we're not yelling about AI. AI is a part of our lives. We get that. But the manipulation of your particular individuality is now being threatened because, okay, I can take what you did on an interview, mimic your voice, and then make recordings using that mimicry of your voice, and I can sell it with no repercussions to you. And that's unfair. And it's the same thing with the acting, using the performance and then taking those movements and things like that, and then reproducing that and saying, oh, this is Brad Pitt. No, that's not Brad Pitt. Right. Because the one thing that we know about AI does not have a heart.
There's no soul there.
There's no soul there. And that's what makes the difference.
Exactly. Because, I mean, I could sit here and say, what was it like, getting honored by President Obama with the Lifetime Achievement Award for volunteer service. But AI would say, what was it like getting the award from President Obama? Hopefully you can't tell the difference, but I think we're going in a direction where it's kind of close.
But that's the whole point. So they can take what you and I are doing right now and sample it. And you know how computers are. If you had a smart person programming it, they could, literally take the tone and texture of our voice. But what they cannot take is the excitement and the breath that we say in spirituality. The breath is different.
Yeah.
Because it means something, it means soul, it means life, it means vibrancy, it means all of those things. So they can't copy that so much. I was looking at some of the stuff on YouTube. I follow several people's channels. And they have, unfortunately, they've used AI to do an ad with The Rock and Oprah, and it sounds like The Rock. But see, I know The Rock. I know Dwayne. And that's not his voice. And I can tell because, the inflections. And again, AI doesn't breathe. So it just keeps going. So you're like, wait a minute, you're not taking a breath, because normal people would take a breath between talking.
Right. There's no breath. There's no light behind the eyes. There's that warmth that makes the person where in his case, you can't smell what he's cooking if it's not the actual person.
Exactly. So yeah. So that's the thing that we fight for when we go to Grammys on the Hill, and we partner with Fran Drescher and SAG-AFTRA. We really want to make sure that we are protecting people, because musicians go through the ups and downs and the lulls of having a new album, being out there doing the press and stuff like that, and then 2-3 years afterwards you're in this thing, and unless you're in the lab cooking again, you have this thing where, okay, well, where's my next gig coming from? Especially those independent artists, they have to make their way. So that's what we fight for at Grammys on the Hill.
Wow. Thanks for all of that. I didn't know we would, take such a tangent into AI and all that off of the Grammys on the Hill stuff, but I'm glad we did.
That means that you're a great interviewer, Jason.
No, I just turn it over to you and let you run with it. But I
No.
jump in every now and then and quote The Rock, and that's all I do. But awesome. Before we go, I do want to, just ask about maybe some more like the more recent these honor. I mean, I was joking about getting honored by Obama, but I did want to hear how what that was like. I guess that was in 2016, and also Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Like around 2016, 2017, you're starting to get these like life achievement awards, and of course you have a long life ahead of you and a lot of more albums to come, including the one we're plugging for next year. But I don't know, what's it like to be at this point where you have such a body of work that these, and that you're getting these national awards from historic figures like a President Obama or a Gospel Hall of Fame. Like it's got to be a bit surreal, but also I don't know, there's got to be a pride with it.
Oh my gosh, it's so fulfilling, because you do what you love to do. You never think, oh, I'm doing this so I can get rewarded. I'm doing this so I can, be seen. No, what we do, music, and I can guarantee you that 99.9% of creators, whether they're musicians, singers, actors, actresses, we love the craft. We love our genre. We believe what we're doing is helping the world. So that's the biggest thing for us. And then to be awarded and given accolades that you never thought, oh my gosh, what? Are you serious? Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you, President Obama. Because I grew up in a household where giving was a part of our DNA. We're natural givers. We give not just during the holidays or during special occasions, but we give on a monthly, daily basis to our favorite charities, to our favorite churches, to our favorite organizations that need us. And so to get that Lifetime Achievement Award from President Obama for community service was like, wow, this is, because I'm known for my music. I'm known for, television and film and stuff like that as well.
And Broadway and SpongeBob, Tony nominee.
Yes, love that. Yes, I keep forgetting about that. Oh my God, I just got a cough.
Listeners, do you hear what we hear? That's a cough.
Yeah, isn't that something? Do you hear what we hear? No. And so to be known for that, oh my God, it was just like, oh, thank you, President Obama, because people just look at you and it's like, oh, she's on stage, she's doing that, but they don't see the background. As a matter of fact, I was a part of Barbara Bush's reading campaign here in Houston, Texas, in combination with Rice University and a whole bunch of the education districts, the school districts here. Oh, nice. So it's been a part of my life, no matter who's in office, So that was really special to me. So yeah, it's amazing. And like you just said, the SpongeBob thing, oh my gosh. We were so proud of our contribution to the SpongeBob Broadway musical. And we still, to this day, get goosebumps and giddy and laugh and, just talk about how that call came about. And they were like, no, we need you. We need your expertise. We need your writing skills. We know you're, a writer and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, y'all know me as a writer. That's so cool. It's like, ma'am, you won a Grammy for writing. Cut it out. So,
so humble.
So, yes, I'm like, okay. And to see it come to from, on the page to the rehearsals, to the stage, to opening night. Oh, it was just, I'm doing that again. I'm going to do that again. I don't know which one, but we're going to be writing and doing something again for Broadway.
So there's no news you broke some news about the upcoming album, but there's no news to break yet about the next Broadway production.
No, I need everybody who believes in manifestation to send their good vibes to me, because that's got to happen. And, I just figure if I put it out there, it's coming back to me.
What about, like, I agree. I believe in manifestation. My wife and I use that word all the time. But how about a Yolanda Adams Broadway, based on your life story? You know what I mean? That could be kind of cool. They did one on, what was it? CC Winans, I think, and BB Winans. It could happen.
BB,
or like a Carol,
yes,
Carol King musical. Beautiful. What was that? Was what it's called? Yeah, Beautiful, the Carol King musical. Like, I think there could be a Yolanda Adams story.
I think we're gonna think about that. I hope Miss Willette, who is our Broadway expert, I think once I get unbusy enough, I just need like 2 weeks to start writing to see what would be interesting. And then I have to get my siblings together because, you live your life doing what you love to do and you think, oh, my life is it's great, but no one wants to hear about my life. And then at Thanksgiving, my siblings were like, girl, listen, you in that room in the back with all of those papers scrolled all over the room. It's like, that would be really funny in a movie. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute now.
Yeah, they could show you. They could show you at the Super Bowl. They could show you doing America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl. There's so many highlights they could do in the show.
You know what? Thank you, Jason. Thank you for putting that little spark in my eye, because it's like, yes, I guess we should. Okay, Jason, you put it out there. I'm agreeing. It's happening.
Take it and run with it. All right, there you go. And so while you're here at while you're here at the Kennedy Center for this concert, just have that percolating a little bit. Like, I think I'll start writing that script in your head. Awesome.
Yes.
But while we wait for that, everyone listening has to come to the actual show at the Kennedy Center. It's Do You Hear What I Hear? It's going to be Tuesday, December 5th at the Kennedy Center. Yolanda Adams, and like you said, 102 voices, the instrumentalist, dancer. It's gonna be amazing. And I think they will have just done the Kennedy Center honors like 2 days before. So you'll still have, Billy Crystal and Queen Latifah and all that magic still in the air. That'll be cool.
I know. I love them. Oh, I love both of them.
Are you doing anything for the honors, by the way?
No, I'm not, because I am presently on a Christmas tour outside of what we're doing for the Kennedy Center. Gotcha. So I had to make sure that, my voice and all of that stuff, because if I would go to the honors, I'd probably be yelling and screaming and singing and all of that. I'm like Celine. We have to get our voice rest and all that good stuff. That makes sense.
I wasn't sure because the honors is Sunday and this concert's Tuesday. I didn't know if you came down early making a surprise at the honors.
No, no. God knows what he's doing. So no, I would not. I'm not there.
God does know what he's doing. And thank you so much for repping God in all your songs. And everyone come out Tuesday, December 5th at the Kennedy Center. Do You Hear What I Hear? Hey, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
No problem. It's so good talking to you again, Jason. Have a great one.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you as well.
Happy holidays. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.